Hello everyone, this is Noah of Green Arc Reviews here back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Let me start off by saying this. I love Spider-Man. Ever since I was a little kid, from the cartoons, the comic books, to the Sam Raimi movies, except for this one, maybe this one's a mess, but these two particularly, I've always loved Spider-Man. And when they announced a couple years ago that they were rebooting this franchise, I was pessimistic to say the least, like many of my fellow fanboys were, because I loved the Sam Raimi movies, and I wanted to see where they could continue on with it. But, fate happened, and we have The Amazing Spider-Man 1, which I still think is a good film. Not as good as I said in my original review, which you could find here, which is bad quality, by the way. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 originally, but now I probably give it a 3.5. I still think it's a good movie, but there are a lot of things in there that could have been improved upon. I was still excited for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but oddly enough, I wasn't really that impressed by the trailers. The trailers to me just looked okay, which is sad because this movie, Spider-Man, deserves so much more than okay or just being looked like a fine summer blockbuster. But I was still excited because it's Spider-Man on the big screen. Of course I'll be excited. Now, let me start off by saying the positives of this movie. Andrew Garfield cements himself as Peter Parker. I really loved what he brings to this character, the nerdiness, the awkwardness, and of course being Spider-Man, all the jokes he gives off and the energeticness that he gives to this character is exciting. To me, this is now the definitive Spider-Man of what I see as the character of Peter Parker. And also his chemistry with Emma Stone, who is Gwen Stacy. Pitch perfect. It is just too good, and it's obvious, of course, that they're together in real life, so that helps, but their chemistry is just so good. Probably my favorite superhero relationship in comic book movies right now. It's either that or Tony Stark and Pepper Potts, but here it's just done so well. Also, Dane, DeHaan, Jamie Foxx, and Sally Field all do a really good job with what they're given. The action sequences are exciting to see, great fight scenes with Spider-Man and Electro, and also a really cool soundtrack to this movie. The score by Hans Zimmer is an improvement over James Horner's, and there are many effective moments in this movie, particularly one particular moment in this movie which I won't get into that I found very powerful. You know, there are a lot of good things about this movie that I can go on about, but for every great thing that I actually adored about this movie, there are also a handful of things in this movie that I really wasn't hot on, particularly Electro. Now, Jamie Foxx is a terrific actor, and if you get someone of his talent, I expect something more than what I was given. And Max Dillon, my word, he was goofy. He was so goofy, he was like Joel Schumacher Batman level goofy. It was too much. He was so obsessive and it just didn't work, especially knowing Jamie Foxx more as a smooth guy. It was just so awkward seeing him as this dweeb. And his obsession over Spider-Man, it was just too goofy, too comic booky. Some things in comic books work in comic books only, and when you try to adapt to the big screen, it might not work as well, and I truly believe in that idea. And Jamie Foxx to me was not utilized as well as I wished he was. Also, a terrific actor, Dane DeHaan, who I think is a rising talent, he does really good with what he's given. And his relationship with Andrew Garfield here is done so well. The development behind it, their history is really effective, and I really liked their chemistry together. That being said, the moment, by the way, this is not a spoiler at all, the moment Harry becomes the Green Goblin, I didn't buy it. It just felt so choppy to me. To me, the biggest problem of this movie itself is the villains aren't really easy to buy because their motivations aren't really well done. Just like the Lizard in the first movie, their motivations aren't easy to get, which is sad because Spider-Man, the comic books, their villains are amazing. They are great villains, they're entertaining, and they're such interesting characters to read about and watch. The sad thing is, though, is that the characters here in the villain side aren't developed enough as they deserve to be. But my biggest problem with this movie, but overall with this franchise, with both The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, is that the marketing by Sony, horrible. The marketing is so bad, and let me tell you why. Watch any of the trailers and the TV spots, you have seen 75% of this movie. And it is sad. It really is sad, because it kind of ruined much of the dramatic elements that could have been more effective and kept me more invested. I was still invested, particularly for the last climactic action sequence at the end. I was on the edge of my seat, and I truly cared for what was going on. And what happened throughout that scene, especially near the end, was so effective, and it took risks that I never thought that many of the MCU movies, which I adore. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But to me, those last few movies they made, which, entertaining still, didn't really have much of a... How do I say it? It didn't have many risks taken like what this film does, which I won't get into. And to me, it's so powerful what they did in this movie. But it's sad because with every great thing, there's also pretty bad things in this movie. And don't get me wrong, I still really liked it. All the stuff I love elevate this movie to be something that I think really is really good. Almost great, but not great, which is sad because of the horrible problems that this movie deals with. And also, Paul Giamatti, who they keep marketing as the Rhino who is throughout this movie, he's only in here for like 5 minutes at most, and it's sad. I truly believe Marc Webb and the cast want to make something really special, want to make a great Spider-Man movie, and I believe that they can. The problem is that Sony keeps having their hands up their butts, and it's really ruining it all. It's like Sony is the puppet master and kind of ruining what this movie could be, the potential that these movies could make. And it's sad because as much as I do enjoy these movies, you could tell that Sony only made these movies, this rebooted franchise, just so they could keep the rights to Spider-Man. And it is really unfortunate because Spider-Man deserves so much better than this. So overall, I recommend seeing it in the theater. It's still a fun movie. I enjoy it. I'll probably check it out again, probably pick it up on Blu-ray. But I want more. I really want more from this franchise. You have a great cast, you have a talented director, you have great stories, great ideas, and great potential. But Sony has to ruin it with the marketing. You cannot get underdeveloped villains. You need better villains. You need better scripts, by the way. And I can't give this movie anything more than a 3.5 out of 5. It was almost a 4, but all the problems in this movie keep it going down to a 3.5 out of 5. So anyways guys, thank you so much for watching my review for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. If you want to see more videos of mine, you can click that button and subscribe, leave a comment down below, you can like this video, you can share this on Facebook, Twitter, any other social media devices that you may use. You can also check out my written reviews at greenarcreviews.wordpress.com. Also check out my Facebook page in the description down below, and I guess that is it. I'm Noah of Green Arc Reviews, and I will see you in my next video.